Joining us now is a man who's 6'7", maybe 7 foot tall, and he's a national champion at this particular institution. He's a guy who's currently a Pittsburgh Steeler. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Hard.
Yeah!
Well, you be down there. Well, hey, strong dap with that thumb.
Yeah.
I just would like to let everybody know that was a very, very strong dap. You can move in a little bit if you want inside that helmet.
Right. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got you.
What's up, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah, you look
feet
so
tall.
cool right
How we
there.
doing,
Dude,
man?
how are you doing?
No, you're good.
Cameraman, can you just, Buck, can you have AJ and Will on that particular shot?
So I'll be like,
Zoom in, cameraman.
You look tall. You look tall. You don't look that bad. You look pretty tall.
I got a little
down
bend in
6
the knee.
inches.
Yeah, it's very kind of you to do that. Will, thank you for joining us. Is this your first time back since being drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, I think I stopped by for a little bit in like July, but really first time being back. You know, obviously under these circumstances, with a big game on the line. You know, I think it was like a 2-day thing that I stopped by for. So it's good to be back, man. It feels like home.
How does it? Yeah, you said it feels like home. Obviously, you transfer in here and have this magical run last year, which had a couple, obstacles in it. Obviously, early in the season at Oregon, we don't have to talk about the whole thing that happened on this particular field. But then you guys became the hottest team in football. We were watching some highlights from last year's game day and from last year whenever we were doing a simulcast, and it was evident to us that you guys were the best football team in America. Like, you guys steamrolled through that playoff run. What did it feel like in the moment? And when did you guys know that you were proverbially in your bag, if you will, last year? Because we saw it immediately, it felt like.
Yeah, see, I mean, obviously all the things that we went through throughout the season, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't how we drew it up, losing that Oregon, losing here, to that team up north. But I think all those things that we did go through really did set us up for that run. And I think, once we kind of came out in that Tennessee game, and we started, putting it on those guys, and then the Rose Bowl came, and, we start making some plays. I felt really confident going into both of those games, but really I think I was after that Rose Bowl or during that Rose Bowl where we all kind of looked at each other like, all right, man, like nobody's stopping us right now. Just the way that we're playing and, the way that we were clicking on all cylinders. I mean, it was a hell of a run. It was one of the most memorable 4 games that, I think a lot of people could say they have been through. And so I'll cherish it for a long time. But I learned a lot throughout that whole run of the playoffs, and obviously nobody thought we were going to do anything for those first 3 weeks leading up to the Tennessee game, and then we really found it in ourselves, and it's a credit to the leaders that we had on that team last year and the seniors and all those guys that came back, and I'm just excited to watch these guys run it back and hopefully do it again this year, man.
What's your relationship like with Coach Ryan Day? Because obviously he was under immense amount of pressure. Just being the Ohio State coach, that's going to happen. I think every Ohio person understands.
Got to win every game, yeah.
The job is going to be difficult, but
all right.
And obviously that is. I don't think it's unique just to Ohio, but here I think it is vastly different than. I mean, it's every citizen in the state of Ohio is expecting the Buckeyes to win every single game. Every coach that has been here has won a national championship. Ryan, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? Is all he was feeling. I think you guys had a team meeting or a player meeting or something, and you guys really, it was like a gut check type situation from what I've been told.
Yeah.
Ryan Day, kind of how he was being viewed and talked about. How did that kind of motivate you guys or generate your energy, and how was the relationship through playoffs with him? Because he was getting thrown under every bus in the state of Ohio. I think elementary school, junior high, high school buses.
I don't have the same relationship that maybe a Jack Sawyer and a Mecca, coming into the season had with him. But coming out of it, I feel like, honestly, I mean, we all were in that thing together last year. And, Ryan Day, like, he gave me a chance. And I kind of think about, what I owed to him. And, when I sat down with him coming out of the transfer portal process and how he, really took me in and wanted to make me a better player. Like, I felt like I owed him, and I made sure, I was like, man, I gotta get back to this guy, man. He's given me so much. He's given me this chance. Like, I can't let him down. And, we all, obviously, you don't want to listen to the outside noise, and everybody says that, hey, don't go on social media. But you
have to.
It's
2024.
It's 2024. It gets to you, and you see it. That's true. Yeah. But you hear it, and it pissed us off. We didn't. I wouldn't say we used it as motivation, but it did. It put a little chip on our shoulder, and I think it gave us really the spark that we needed, like, to come together. And that, like you said, that players only meeting that we had, it was just all of us players and Coach Day, and we hashed some things out. Guys said their piece. It got real. And there was no sensitivity about it. Everyone was just honest. They stated their case, and no one really got uptight about it. And that, I think.
How did it come about? Did Coach Day bring it in, or how?
So the day after that, after that day out here, we got together as a leadership council, and we talked, and we were like, hey, we got to get this group of guys together and talk about it, and just lay everything out on the table. If anyone has any questions about how we did what we did on that day, what happened, why does this keep happening, kind of deal. We wanted to hash all that stuff out, and we went into that room, and I mean, there were times where it got ugly. Guys are yelling at each other, and tempers flared. But like at the end of it, we all came together and hand in hand in prayer. And I feel like a moment like that is so defining for a team.
Absolutely.
And a less mature group would have taken that and just,
nosedive.
But we had such a good group of guys that were all mature and motivated, and didn't want that to be the way that we were remembered. And that was what we kept talking about, like, what's our legacy going to be? What do you want to be remembered for here at Ohio State? And we could use that last game to just crumble and make everything kind of fall on top of each other, but like at the end of the day, we were just like, man, we gotta set the record straight and go out here. And we knew the only way that we could make what we did right is by winning a national championship.
Crazy that it was all still available for you as the entire state was kind of crumbling. There was still this magical opportunity that everybody is hunting for. That is literally the only thing that is on the top of the mountain. You guys have it forever. Congratulations. That is a wonderful thing. Tone, back at the Thunderdome, has a question for you.
Yeah, Will, first and foremost, I love you. Just wanted to get that out there. Just want to say that. First,
I love you too, Tone.
Secondly, can you grow a beard? Because you're giving me Big Ben vibes when I was watching you in practice and stuff like that. I got Big Ben vibes. And then thirdly, more importantly, how has this year's expectations changed, if they have at all, with the hand injury? Because I know that was a bummer and didn't get to see you in preseason, but has anything changed as far as your role or expectations for this season?
I think all along I was looking at this season as a developmental year, and I think we all kind of were with the Steelers. Obviously you don't bring in Aaron Rodgers for no reason. Like he's a guy that's coming in to be the guy. At least for this year, and we don't know what it'll look like going forward. But right now, I'm going into this season saying I want to learn everything I possibly can from Aaron, and just watch the way that he goes about his business. Like obviously, like you said, Tone, like it killed me that I couldn't be out there for the preseason. I felt like I was having a really good fall camp and wanted to kind of carry that into the preseason and show Steelers Nation, what I was capable of. But obviously, you got to trust the plan, and God didn't want me out there this preseason for what reason. I don't know why, but I got to trust it and understand that this is all part of my development, and in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, I just got to keep working and use this year as a developmental year. And on the facial hair note, I'm working on it.
Really?
I shaved yesterday.
Can we get back in on that, Buck?
Right?
Can we get back in on that, Buck?
Yesterday.
The cameraman's name is Buck. He's from Canada.
Right.
He's got
Buck?
great control of the
Looks good.
the
Sure
stick.
does. I like the
Clean
close up
shave,
there. That's a little too close, but I went clean shaven this weekend. But hey, going forward, Tone, I'll think about you when I'm doing my.
I appreciate
Looking in the mirror, yeah. You got a nice baby face, brother. I think that was part of the entire thing. You're like super jovial baby face.
Yep.
But we saw you out there dancing with the boys. We saw you out there dancing with the boys whenever you were doing your thing.
Oh, yeah.
They loved you. New teammates, I assume, do as well. Go ahead, AJ.
So Aaron Rodgers, obviously in the room with him, you get to see him on the field. I guess, what is it really like watching him operate on the field? Like even in walkthroughs, we were there for one day, and I was peeking out the window watching your guys' walkthrough. I could just see his how he just bounces down the field. And boy, yeah, I'm sure he got everything, especially when he's feeling good. You definitely know when he's feeling good.
Oh yeah.
Or if he's pissed off.
Picking grass out of the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like, what is it like? I guess what's it been like to observe that, not only meeting room but on the field, and just how he commands the huddle and kind of has everybody like all on the same page.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think the biggest thing about Aaron that I have been like amazed by, and I feel like when you think about Aaron Rodgers, everyone talks about the arm strength and the arm talent and the ability that he has physically, but nobody talks about what he's capable of up here. And his mental capacity for the game and the things that he's thinking about every single play, like just watching his process is crazy. Like, I mean, all the cadence operation that he does and just, his knowledge of the game and the fronts and how that, correlates to the pressures and the structures in the back end. And I mean, everything that he talks about, it just makes sense. And he has taught me a ton, and he's been super, super open. Like, even if he has a bad play at practice where he might be pissed off, and, if I ask him, hey, like, what was your thought process there? Like, he'll come over to me no matter how pissed off he is, and he'll tell me. And he's very open with not just me, but, Skylar and Mason and everybody else on the offense. He'll talk to a practice squad tight end the same that he talks to DK,
No, I heard
I swear. I mean,
Really?
He's like, he gets on everybody, and he expects excellence, and he's demanding, and he's a great leader. It's been great to just sit back and watch the way that he operates, and I've been learning from it and trying to pick his brain as much as I can.
Yeah, smart. You're even doing mimicking his motions on the field. Feels like you're watching his every move. Feels like the right guy to do that with, especially with your leadership style, brother. We got to watch that on display. A lot of alphas on that team. That could have went one way. Instead, it went the other with you being the guy that guides the ship to a national championship. Now, on that note, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, thank goodness it went the other way, Will, because it was nice to see you guys kind of just coast to a national championship. One of the guys on that team who's going to be playing tomorrow, Jeremiah Smith. What is it like, seriously, playing with a dude like that? And as you've been in training camp and in these preseason games, do you ever look on the field and say, like, oh, yeah, Jeremiah Smith's better than that guy, and then get to DK Metcalf and think, like, okay, that's probably exactly what Jeremiah Smith is, just an absolute freak of nature?
Yeah, it's a sight to behold, man. Like, watching number 4 play football, both with the Steelers and with the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both unbelievable players, and they're very, very comparable in a lot of ways. But yeah, I mean, JJ he's a freak, man. And I was telling people before the season last year, like, this kid's going to be one of the best in the country as a freshman, and they were all like, we'll believe it when we see it. And I mean, I think everyone saw it pretty loud and clear last year. I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, he can do everything. He's big. He catches freaking every single ball you throw at him. I mean, I think when it's all said and done, he could very, very well be, and I know that's saying a lot, but he could be one of the best to ever do it. But he's so talented, and I'm excited to watch him ball out this week. Obviously, sad it's not me throwing the ball to him, but I'm excited to watch Julian too, man. I think those two are going to have a good connection, and looking forward to it.
What do you think about Julian?
Oh, that's my guy, man. He's
really okay.
Yeah, California cool. He's got one of the best releases I've seen.
Ball comes out pretty.
Oh, it's pretty, man. It sure is. I mean, he can spin that thing, and there's no doubt about that. But I'm excited to go out there and watch his demeanor and the way that he leads these boys. Like that's when you really talk about being the quarterback of a football team, especially a football team like this, like that is one of the marquee things that you have to do is you got to lead those guys. You got to make sure that you're taking them from point A to point B every single game, and they're riding with you. And I think I'm excited to see that come out of him, because I know he has it inside of him, and I think he's been developing that all camp, and I mean he physically, like, he's up there with everyone. But I'm just excited to see him, go out there and be the guy and lead these guys, man. It's I'm looking forward to it, man. Jules is a great kid, and
is he tough? He's got to be tough.
Oh yeah, he's
it's
a
Ohio
tough kid,
State.
man.
You got to be tough. They're running the little blow up smashy thingy out here on the field. I mean, it is
nice.
They got yup, and boom, eat some.
Got some legs in the air.
This is preparation for 1 verse 3. This is Ohio. This is what it's all about. What perfect timing to cut to that. Ryan, great shot, cuz. Really, really awesome stuff. Ty has a question, I think, to follow up on everything we're talking about with the quarterback.
Yeah, Will, obviously, Julian and you had massively different paths, ahead of your first start. Have you talked to him at all in terms of, like, what can he expect on Saturday? I mean, your first game was against Akron, so it's a little bit different, and you're not getting thrown right into the belly of the beast like he will against Texas. But have you talked to him? Have you given him any advice? And, just like how much different was it for you putting on that Ohio State uniform for your first start?
Yeah, it's obviously very different circumstances for me and him. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a football game, And I told him, and I texted him when the news officially came out. And I stay in contact with him and with Lincoln and with all the quarterbacks, really. I try to. But, the thing that I told him is, man, there's not a lot of people that that understand what we're going through as being the Ohio State quarterback. So, I just said, like, if you ever need to talk to me about anything, just let me know, just like a lot of the guys ahead of me did for me. And it's a different place, Ohio State, being the guy, being the quarterback. There's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of pressure, but you can't treat it like that. You got to just treat it like it's another game. And, obviously this being his first collegiate game, it's a big one, but, I know that he has it in him, and that, he got to watch us go on that whole run last year, and he was a part of it. So he got to see really big games. So I'm excited to see him go out there and take the step, with him actually doing it. Because I know he's a dude, man. He's a stud. And he's got a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Is he too tall? He's too tall, isn't he? I was just looking at this shot here.
Yeah, you guys are kind of Sicilianoing AJ a little bit. Sorry, AJ.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm perfect size. My forehead to go right into their chin. That's what. My kids call me short all the time. Like, this exact height I wanted to be, actually.
Well, man wins.
Hey, that was a big thing I was talking about whenever it was going through the draft thing.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to you throwing at the hotel late at night in Indianapolis.
That,
yeah, somebody out of the blue called and said that. It was like, this guy's out in the middle of a parking lot, middle of the night, getting a throwing session in. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah. Out of the blue, you say.
But
who was it?
I just out of the blue was a very interesting way to put it.
Who was it?
Well, what I'm saying is it was not like I didn't follow up and say, like, hey, if you see anything downtown, let me know. It came out of nowhere is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I got attacked for lying about you. But so I will let you know, like, I was a big supporter of yours through the whole draft process because I didn't think you were getting enough love from what we watched with the playoff run. And we were first on the CJ Stroud stuff, not the first, but we saw CJ Stroud play, and we're like, that's a Sunday guy right there, like right in front of our eyes. I've had the opportunity with my position to stand on the sidelines of a lot of football games.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So in simulcast, I'm getting a chance to see a lot of positions that I've been in before, and like your side. I hope it all works out. I hope the thumb gets better. I like that he came in for a really strong dap here with me.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not worried about that, right?
We're all good, man. It's I'm back to throwing this week, so it's feeling good, going in the right direction. But I really appreciate you guys, man. Seriously, like I saw all the love, and I do appreciate you guys, man.
You could have said something. I was getting murdered.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I should have spoke up.
I was getting murdered out here. But
I was letting you take it, man. I should have spoke up.
Actually, it's the reason why I like you. It's because you did. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm saying there's no reason to add any spotlight, which is what I appreciate about you. You're a superstar. You're a national champion, and you're a cool dude. And I think your story is an inspiring one, and I can't wait to see what you write for your professional career. Are you getting celebrated here this weekend?
Not that I know of. I think we kind of did that for the spring game when we had all our rings given out and all that, because I know they want to focus on this year and beating the Longhorns.
Oh, you're talking about, hey, new team. This team hasn't won anything.
Exactly.
Don't be a distraction, Will. Okay, please don't.
Stay out the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, national champion, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, Will Howard.
Hey, Will.
Appreciate you guys, man.